Welcome to Power Driven Diesel. We have a lot to cover in this video. First, we're taking this 2005 6-liter Power Stroke and we're going to build this awesome set of compound turbos. Once they're built, we're going to take this bad boy out on the street and see if it's fast, see if it's fun. And finally, we're going to put this thing on the judge, the dyno. Does it make more power or not? We're going to strap it down, run it hard, and see what happens. Let's get started. So I think the Ford 6-liter Power Stroke needs 2 turbos. The real question is, how do you make them fit? There's a few kits out there that are really cool, but I kind of want to do a little different. Maybe it's been done, I just haven't seen it. But my strategy, my goals in this build is I want the turbo to fit under the hood just fine. I don't want a hood stack. I don't want to have to go out the fender, like a lot of kits will kind of do an exhaust around the fender of the wheel and you can see it through the fender well. I don't want that either. I want it to dump in the factory location behind the engine in front of the firewall. That way I don't have any like rain issues or nothing. I want it to be a factory fit. Not going to know anything looking at the truck's going to be slick. So how are we going to do that? I don't know yet. We're going to figure that one out. All right, guys, this is Barron's 2005 Ford 6-liter Power Stroke. He's been working on it, and I said, Barron, can we use your truck to fab compounds on? He said,
of course you can.
Of course we can, because twins are awesome for everyone. So anyway, the first thing we got to figure out is where we're going to put the big turbo. That's a big problem. After that, you can kind of just run your pipes to it and make sure they fit under the hood and make sure it all works. So first thing we're going to do is locate the big turbo. In order to fit this under the hood, we got to keep our pipe diameter kind of small. So we're going to do a 3-inch hot pipe. The hot pipe is from the small turbo, gives exhaust to the big turbo. We kind of 3D printed a little flange here to kind of fit this cut narrow, so that kind of fits that hole right there. So then we went to the plasma and made this guy. If this works out well, this is going to go like so. This guy's going to go across the top here. If this works out well, we'll make this have a nice billet piece, CNC machine, and awesome. But for now, a quick plasma table, some threaded holes will work for this R&D kind of prototype kit. So we're going to mount this onto the alternator bracket right here. Kind of big gnarly thing right here. This pipe's going to go this direction. And hopefully the hood will close. Let's see if it works.
Okay, tug and attack. We're going to get this on. We're going to put the turbo up underneath it so we can see how it sits in the engine bay. Look at that beautiful thing. It is really cool that it fits. I mean, I got enough room for a downpipe here. We've had to relocate a sensor, but it's not really a big deal. But just the fact that I think we'll be able to get it all out. This is a tight engine bay, but we should be able to get it. Reason for the cardboard is all of this is going to be heat wrapped, so I have to leave room.
Let's make a mark right here. Give me 2 marks and I'll go tack it. Where's your pin?
Okay, do you want to weld those 2 together first, or do you want to weld this to that first?
These 2.
Okay.
So I'll just go on because that doesn't matter. It's just round and round.
Yep.
That's it, dude.
Right there?
Okay, good. I may have to have you come hold this while I tack it.
Okay.
Getting close. All right, so this is the last piece of our charge air cooler, intercooler pipe. It's kind of trial and error making this thing. I think it's gonna fit really, really nice. It actually looks pretty cool. I like the lines of it. It looks nice under the hood. I try to make them look, pretty if you can, because turbos are awesome. So, tack this guy together and we should have our, intercooler pipe at least fabricated. Moment of truth. This part's always exciting. If it fits in, it's like, yay! All right, let's see if she fits. Oh.
That
is clean.
That is nice.
And all the joints are tight, so it's easy to weld. I'm not hating that. I'm loving that. The pipe fits mint. It's awesome. It's beautiful. Big turbo is going to come around it, as you can see in here. But our next step is to get the hot pipe fixed. We got to get the exhaust from the first turbo to the big 480 here. And so that's what we're going to do right now. Let's get after it.
My best guess.
Is that good?
Not quite as far as I wanted it. Let's see if it works.
All right, so we're trying to make our hot pipe. Like I said, this is the pipe that connects the exhaust, the two turbos. We don't have a lot of room behind the stock turbo. It kind of comes at a 45, and we got to get that coming forward fast. So we're kind of gonna have to make some sharp angles and have some gaps to fill. But it's really important we get this thing turned fast. So that's what we're kind of working on here, is seeing how fast we can get this thing turned, and hopefully we can make it fit. So get it kind of there and put your clamp on so you can hold it where you want it.
Wiring harness I can push over to the other side. It's not at the right angle. It needs to be tighter. We're gonna make it tighter.
All right, guys, we're back on day 2 of compound turbo install on the 6-liter Power Stroke. We're now inside, which is nice, not near as hot. Anyway, we're working on the down pipe, working on the hot pipe still. Just day 2, these things take a while. We brought a spare engine over here to help us on mock-up, and yeah, hopefully it goes good. Hopefully we make a lot of horsepower. Hopefully the thing freaking rips and spools like stock. Jeez Louise. Yeah, that's crazy. That's too easy. It's gonna not be that easy.
Nope.
We're gonna get in there, it's like, oh, we were celebrating too early. It looks pretty good from here.
I like it. Let's throw another tack on these two sides.
Okay. Okay. All right, Baron's gonna hop over to the truck and work on this guy, getting it fit in the truck, going down the back of the motor, make our downpipe mint. While he's doing that, I'm going to work on the hot pipe. We have our Interstage, our intercooler pipe here. This is basically how our hot pipe's going to line up next to it here. Make them parallel and pretty, hopefully about the same height. We'll get some pieces of work around here. And once those are together, I'll tack them up and we'll test fit everything. Then our pipes are made, except from our big turbo to our little turbo, the Interstage pipe. Got to make that still. Tack this guy on place so I can start fighting with it. Here we go in this direction. Here we go.
I've got to bend that hater hose over a little bit. I hate this thing.
Wait, you what?
I hate it. I hate it. I still like freaking look at the hair. I like it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little this, and then it's gonna go like that, and then gonna go like that, and it's gonna be like another 90 and another 90 that go right into the intake. And the reason we're doing that is because you hardly ever have to get your fuel filter, but you do need to get your oil filter a lot, so we gotta go around it.
All right, everybody, we have the system mostly tack welded. Nothing's permanently welded. We have the hot pipe done. The down pipe is 90% done. The intercooler pipe is done, and now we're working on the Interstage pipe. Interstage pipe is compressed air from big turbo into inlet of small turbo. We're this far, we need to make that turn, go into that turbo. Then all of our piping is technically built, and as long as it fits well and the hood shuts, we'll start doing final welding and put an air filter on it. Let's keep going. It's gonna be interesting. It's pretty tight. I'm trying to fit between the oil filter and fuel filter caps, keep it low. Hood clearance is always a big concern, especially now. It's like everything's up high. Everything is up high. Every pipe is up high. So, it's a problem. it's a problem because I want it to fit under the hood. I don't want you to have to cut your hood. I want it to be kind of normal-ish. I think we'll get there. I'm excited, feeling good. We'll see. Okay, thank you. My last piece is in there, but this piece here, I think it'll line up. I'm gonna put this in, mark it where I want it, and tack it, check it one last time, and this piece will be ready for final assembly. I hope. Hope I'm not doing this again. We'll find out shortly. Oh, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. We got clearance everywhere. Yeah, that should fit just great. Oh yeah, it's mint. Looks great, looks great. And I clear this crap off and I'll close the hood, make sure it closes. A lot of crap here, geez Louise. I think it's been pretty good. She fits. Sweet. All right, we're getting to the end of day number 2 on this compound turbo mock-up. We have all the pipes up top are built. The hot pipe, the interstage pipe, the intercooler pipe. Most of the down pipe is done. I think Baron's gonna change one angle. Make it fit a little better. The down pipe's pretty long, so we're making a 2-piece down pipe. You may have noticed in the footage so far, we've got a clamp there. That way you can actually install it on the truck without having to like lift the cab up. It's way too hard to fish that pipe down here, not gonna happen. So you make it a 2-piece, use a V-band, clamp it together there in the back, not too hard to get to. Other than that, he went to grab a flange. He'll be back in a minute, and I think we'll finish the down pipe, and as long as everything's good, I'm gonna take it over the table and finish welding everything and start it up.
So the plan is we're going to weld all of this when it's on the engine. Because of welding, things can flex and warp. So we just want to make sure that this pipe in particular stays where it needs to by welding it up on an engine.
All right, guys, pipes are now finished, finished welded. They're ready to go in the truck. First thing we gotta do though is we gotta wrap these bad boys. Let me turn this off so you can hear what I'm saying. So, this kit is tight. Like I said, I wanted to fit in the factory downpipe location, which means we're close to a lot of components in the engine bay. So, I've got to go do some stuff, meaning I don't want to do this next part. I'm gonna hand this over to Baron. He's gonna wrap all the pipes so they don't have any heat issues, wiring harnesses, AC box, nothing like that. He's gonna wrap them up real good with some heat wrap, and then he's gonna install them. After that, we're gonna take this thing for a rip and see how it works. So anyway, hang out for a minute and I'm gonna wrap these pipes.
We got this one pipe done. We'll get on to everything else and we'll start on the assembly. I love it when things just fit together. Let's see how this bad boy goes on. Oh! Oopsies. Look at that. That downpipe just looks so sexy. Oh my goodness. You should come look at this. It's like it just wants to be there. That little spoolie boy. Oh, these 400s are just so nice to fab with. I think we still fit a battery there. Moment of truth. It's a little snug, but it looks pretty good.
Well, how are you doing over here, Baron?
it back together.
Dude, you got a battery in here.
Did.
I thought for sure we're going to do a remote battery, dual battery over there like people do. Like, these thing fits. All right, so this thing's all going together. Basically, we are now clamping on boots. Now, these are the power-driven diesel boots. Now, if you guys haven't seen this, we actually lit these on fire and they still work. We did a 5-ply aramid fiber, which is like a carbon fiber, really awesome. It has a way high temperature rating, where this other ones have a polyester fiber, which kind of melts. Actually, we did a video on that. I should link that or something, but these boots are freaking awesome. We've had these over 140 PSI on Will's race truck and not burst them, so they're very capable here and very capable for compound turbos especially. They last awesome. So anyway, we're definitely gonna use our boots on this kit. Then you get a 5-ply aramid and it's gonna work just awesome. I mean, you can run all kinds of boosts to these things, all kinds of heat. They're not gonna let you down. Does it clamp on the big turbo yet? Since you clamped for that boot?
Yeah.
There's probably some, yeah. Full-size filter for the win. All right, guys, the turbos are installed and it looks awesome. I am thrilled with how this project has turned out. This is the prototype set of this kit. If it works out well and there's interest, we may manufacture this kit and put it on the market. For now, it's just us trying out something new. I'm really excited. It has the fender. We left the fender in, so we don't have any rain. We can take this out and drive it on any day we want. We did the exhaust out the same way the stock exhaust goes out, behind the motor and down.
We left the AC in the same location. I didn't lead off the AC at all. This was all done cab on, something that, I don't know, I'm really glad how it turned out. And the fact that I could still fit the battery.
Yeah.
That's just awesome.
Yeah, battery's location, AC still works. Really, it's gonna function like stock, hopefully with a much bigger top end. Now this engine, this combination, does not have the fuel to maximize this turbo setup. We just use this guy as our fab setup here, but I still wonder if it's gonna pick up some power. We were about 500 horsepower last time this was on the dyno.
Yep.
So we're gonna go take this on the street, do a little test rip, get it warmed up, then we're gonna strap to the dyno and see what kind of numbers we make with the new turbo setup. Let's go take a rip. All right, guys, Baron had to go help a customer, so I am taking his truck and I'm gonna abuse the heck out of it because he's not in here to tell me no. This is gonna be a really fun drive. So, first a rip in the compound turbo 6-liter, and I'm not gonna beat up on it too much, let's be honest. This truck doesn't have a ton of power because the fuel's not huge. And it's just it doesn't even have O-rings in the heads or anything, so I wanna be somewhat gentle, but I am curious what it's gonna do. So far it drives just as normal like you'd expect because it's got a stock turbo on the manifolds and the up pipes, I guess. We're in a Ford here, and the up pipes has a stock turbo, and we got that big aggressor 80 millimeter atmosphere charger. There we go. Oh, this thing we're going to 4,000. This is pulling. We're at 20 pounds interstage. Oh, this thing's way north of 500 horsepower. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is this has picked up some power. That's exciting. I'm excited to get this on a dyno now because that's definitely more than 500 horsepower, which is making before. The thing that's really interesting is how well it carries it through RPM range. This thing just never fell off. Like usually, 3,100, 3,200, they'll kind of lay over, like, okay, grab a gear, but man, this thing pulled hard, like 3,800 RPM, 4,000, just kept you in the seat the whole time. So yeah, this has got a much broader power range. You can really feel that big turbo just keep you going, man. Anyway, we're gonna head back to the shop now because the real test is the dyno. Did it pick up power? It feels powerful to me. I'm guessing it's more than 500. I have an excursion that on my dynos are about 500, not near as fast as this. So I'd say we're definitely north of 500. Yeah, let's go see what this thing does. All right, guys, truck is loaded on the dyno. I'm super excited to see what kind of power this makes. After ripping it on the street, I think it is north of 500 horsepower. In the past, this truck has done about 500 horsepower. Now, we put the stock turbo on with the compound turbos, but in the past, it did not have a stock turbo on it. When it was making 500 horsepower, that was with like a KC Stage 2. We've had a Garrett on here. We've had a stainless diesel turbo on here. And really, they're all about fuel limited around 500-ish horsepower. give or take a little bit, different day, different dyno. So I do feel with the compounds, it has picked up a substantial amount of power over that 500. I'm excited to see if it's for real or if it's just that I'm really excited about turbos and it feels faster because I'm excited about turbos. You never really know till you get on the machine. So it's loaded up, it's ready to go. We're gonna do some runs and see if it actually makes more power or if I'm just excited about it. Let's get started. All right, so this is Baron's truck, so I'm gonna let him do the driving. We're going on the dyno and let's just go, man. Start it up, it's freaking rip.
Okay.
Here we go.
That felt pretty good.
Dude, that's-
Holy crap.
That's
Holy
a legit
crap, it did a
number.
lot more than I thought it was gonna do.
See, I could see the screen from my seat where he could not. I was watching the live numbers like, dude, this thing just passed 600 horsepower. Oh my gosh, it got 629 horsepower. Now, when I was driving this in the street, I thought, this is a ripper. And I'm not really surprised because I have a 500 horsepower Excursion and this thing will just flat walk away from my Excursion. So I say it's a very, I'm not surprised it's north of 600. I was guessing around 600 and I'm not surprised it's a little bit past that. So 629 horsepower. Same fuel as your 500, 510
Yeah,
horsepower.
it was like 510 was my last run, I think. So yeah, same fuel. Nothing's changed except for the tune very slightly just to compensate for the compounds.
Man, that's a good running truck. That's a tire frying monster right there. So this is I'm really cool. Let's pull up the graph. Let's look at some numbers here. We kind of like to keep all the numbers and
Well, I just
log
want to see
them.
what boost pressure is. I mean, I can't see anything. I can't see boost or EGT.
All right, so right here is our peak torque, is the yellow line. The green line, that happened, let's go by engine RPM. Let's go up here and go to engine RPM. And that'll give us our engine speed. So peak torque happened
There.
right here.
So
There you go.
29.
So 2975, just before 2982 is peak torque. Peak horsepower happened clear up here. This green line here is our peak horsepower, that dot, you know, that happened at 620 horsepower. And that happened at, where's the RPM?
34.5.
34.5, very good.
Yeah.
All right, so boost was climbing the whole way. The light blue line, if we go to the end of the light blue line, that's our total boost number. And that got up to about 48 PSI. The dark blue line is the boost coming out of the 480. So that, you can see, came up to 22 PSI. And that is very RPM dependent. You can see it just keeps climbing with RPM. If we had fuel, we would have more power. Literally, the boost is going up and the power is going down. That's just, we're climbing RPM and we are out of fuel completely. Which we knew that because these are stock nozzle 175cc injectors.
Well, even this says that. I mean, 1366 degree EGTs by the end of a run like this, at that power level, that's
Yes.
super low.
That was very low EGT for a max power run of that long. How long was this run? Let's see how many seconds it was. Let's go back to the engine speed and check out how long it by time. Yeah, 16 seconds, 17 second pull. That's a pretty long pull. Usually dyno pulls are like 1 or 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah.
To have a 16, 17 second pull, max out at 1300 degrees, 1350 degrees. That's like towing. You can like tow at 600 horsepower with this truck.
Pretty much could. We'll find out this
Your
weekend.
engine coolant may not love it. You may overheat the radiator because it's not designed for that kind of power. But the EGT will be in check, so that's really awesome. Oh man, that's awesome. So EGT started down around right here, or between
800,
800,
700.
700, 800 degrees, and it just, I mean, you had your quick rise and it just kind of followed your boost, really, is what happened.
Yeah, it was
But
great.
really good numbers, really good numbers. I can't believe how good this turbo system works on this build. This is not a wild build. This is a very simple, this is a stock build with head studs.
Yeah, really.
This is head studs, that's it.
7 years ago, head studs.
We got some 175cc stock nozzle injectors and a tune from Warren Diesel.
Yep.
And power driven compounds now.
Yeah.
And yeah, it works really, really well. Fits good, drives awesome. Like I said, the street is awesome. So we got to see what this turbo set is capable of. So we are actually going to be building a truck that's a little bit bigger, more powerful, That's happening soon. We're actually building the engine right now. So you're gonna wanna stay tuned for the next episode in our 6-liter compound turbo series, because we're building another truck, a little bit more of a stout motor, a little bit more fuel. We're gonna see if we can push these turbos a little bit further. So for today, I'm thrilled. I can't believe, that's a huge power jump just from air. Just from air. I mean, that's a 100 horsepower jump for sure.
Well, now it's just time for bigger injectors.
Yes, and I need some fuel, absolutely. So this has been really cool, a fun project to make, a fun set of turbos to make, and I am even more curious now seeing that power number, what these things can do with a little bit of fuel on these 6-liter platforms. So anyway, guys, check out our next episode when we build a sweet motor and a new truck to test these turbos. Thanks.